We're just having a conversation up here as friends and guys who are passionate about the industry. But back again live, H&A 2023, with another member of the herd that I'm extremely proud to have gotten to know over the past year and a half. John Henry signed up for us day one, and it's just been awesome getting to know him, where he's at on his hardscape journey, and finding out John's passion for the industry. So thanks for joining us today, John.
Hey man, thanks for having me.
It's good to see you again, as always.
Absolutely. It's been a couple weeks, but
yeah, right. John was just on a site with us, actually, up in Wisconsin. That's another advantage, if you will, to being a member of the herd, is that there's lots of times where I'm looking to source some help on my project. So we had 3 herd members come up and help us on that project, and we banged it out, right, John? That was a good time.
Yeah, we cranked that thing out. I mean, we talked about it a little bit beforehand and kind of knew about how long it was going to go, but man, I think things went pretty smooth. I mean, the hardest part was trying to figure out where they had that P lined up with the light poles or whatever they were lining it up with. So that was cool.
We had an opportunity to do a distinctive inlay on a commercial property, but anyways, one of the reasons I wanted to bring John Henry on the podcast and into that project was because of his passion for the industry, the brotherhood that he's seen at an early entry, I guess I would say. Just tell us a little bit about your background, John, how you got into this industry, and inevitably what you love about being in it.
Yeah, we're a small company in Wisconsin. Started in 2019. Started like most people, doing absolutely everything and anything that people wanted. Project stuff is what I really like doing. I like being on site, building stuff, creating something that people are proud to have in their yard. And landscaping, you can kind of do that. You can make it look nice, but you can do a space where a family can hang out and enjoy time and create memories and stuff like that. It's just it's a whole different ball game of, I guess, self-satisfaction at the end of the project when they're ultimately happy that they made the right decision to go with you, and you gave them more than what they were looking for. So
you're transforming lives. Right, it's great.
Yeah.
It's come up as a couple themes on these podcasts. It's one of the things we like about our job is the fact that we get to affect someone's how they live. Right, we get to what other career can do that? Right. What other trade can do that? Right.
Right. So, well, and the project you did this spring for down at Coachman's Golf Course was a perfect example. Those people were so grateful every day to have you on site, and no matter what the progress was, they came out, they checked on it, they were taking pictures, they just couldn't wait to get their family out around that fire pit or in the hot tub or whatever. It was just, that was a cool experience working for somebody like that just is so grateful to have you there. A lot of times you go on, you do your mowing or your landscaping or whatever, and you show up, you leave, you don't see anybody, there's no interaction, you're another service being provided, and this is, you really create almost a connection or a bond with the homeowner that you're building this thing for.
Yeah,
so
a little bit differently than on the maintenance side of things.
Oh,
right?
yeah. You can cut that grass every week, right?
Yeah.
Cool, great.
Yeah.
See you later. Thanks.
Right. So getting the satisfaction of transforming these lives, helping out these clients is what why you're in the hardscape industry.
Yes.
And so let's talk a little bit about the transition from primarily doing lawn care, right, a little bit, to getting into the hardscapes. Like, what did that look like?
It's been a little bit of a challenge because I like to know as much as I can about stuff before I start getting into it. I hate going in and having to screw it up and having to redo it. And I know that's how a lot of people learn and how I should be learning.
Yeah.
But man, I like to go in there and have a good plan. And I don't like surprises, but they're going to happen. And I've had to get better over time of rolling with things that go wrong or whatever. It just
So I guess how has Hardscape Mentor helped you at all in this journey, or not even Hardscape Mentor? Let's just talk about the online network of all our brothers out there, right? And the resources that are available for you to maybe not fail at these things, but to see it done right the first time, or some insight there, right?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And geographically speaking, when you guys came came about with Hardscape Mentor was a big thing for me because you're in Wisconsin.
Yeah, we're a couple hours away from each other.
A couple hours away. So, like, you're familiar with the area, suppliers, products, you know.
We have the same Unilock rep.
Yeah, we share the same Unilock rep. I mean, I could go somewhere, you know, a little to the south of me, and I'd end up with a different rep. But
yeah,
we like Herb. So
yeah, Herb Hinch from Unilock is the man. There's a quick plug for Herb because Herb was the conduit for both of us. And I remember one thing Herb said. Herb told me one time that we were exactly alike. Has he told you that too?
He told me the same thing.
He told you that too. And you know why he said that, right? Because we are picky about the details, right?
Yes. Yeah, you know, and one of the coolest things for me personally from the Platteville project was when we were trying to figure out the curve on the P. I was just there to help, and I would just throw out an idea, and for you to be like, yeah,
like, that's what it's all about.
That type of stuff for me to build the confidence, like, okay, when I'm on site by myself, like, I know I'm headed the right direction. Being on site with you or, you know, having a crew or something, you at least have somebody to talk with that, somebody else has experience too, and you can talk it out where, you know, I'm doing a lot, you know, that stuff, a lot of that figuring out stuff by myself right
you're
now.
Not having the feedback
right,
or whatever, yeah.
To be able to hop on the herd and you take a picture of, you know, like a corner where you're trying to oddly meet stuff up and somebody can quick draw you how to cut it out. Like that type of stuff is going to be invaluable for people that are going to, you know, I can't remember who it was the other day, but he showed us a picture of that pile of block that he had trying to cut that corner, and you guys showed him how to draw it up, and he's like, boom, done.
The on-demand aspect of the herd.
Yep. Yeah, the on-demand thing, and now with the app, being able to go through out in the field and look something up, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be a game changer.
Yep, for sure.
One of the reasons I'm just proud to have you in the group, John, is because of the details, right? Because you have an eye for the detail, you have an eye for craftsmanship. I think you're not only good for the herd, but you're good for the hardscape industry, right? It's guys like you who are paying attention to those details is what we need out here. You know,
I appreciate that. I think we talked a little bit about it. I might be a little too particular sometime, but
right here.
You know, I came from. You know, I wasn't a finished carpenter by trade, but I did a lot of, you know, fixing up stuff for my parents' rental places and businesses and stuff like that. And trim work was one of the things that I always gravitated to because not everybody can do it. And it gets real precise, especially when you're going into back cutting corners and stuff, just kind of like how you back cut, you know, brick to fit up against a boulder or something, the scribing, that type of thing. That kind of stuff to me is what will make projects for people.
Yeah.
You know, Mulder does a ton of it with his stone stuff where he meets his patios up and they scribe it all in there. And, you know, even the boulder seat wall from Stoughton and, I mean, all that scribing stuff you do, the cutting the curve and the step. I mean, who's cutting a curve out of a 6-inch step of all things? Like,
it's just taking it to the next level with those details, right? And thinking of all those things. So, and I love that your mindset is right there, right? The finished carpentry stuff that's exactly what we need. I always said it's easier to like dumb a carpenter down than it is to like bring someone up to the carpentry level. I think the biggest difference is the tolerances we're dealing with, right?
And that was a big thing for me. I had no idea what tolerances were. You know, I'm looking at every block having to be, you know, whatever, 4 Polaroids separate, whatever it is. Like, perfection. I'm thinking everything's got to be to a T, and like you got to always remember sometimes that once you sand stuff, you can only see in that top part and everything below it. You know,
well, I think that's what we learn as we go on with experiences. I was the same exact way, man. When I first started out in the field, my supervisor would show up and say, "Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that." And
to me, that's like, what do you mean don't worry about? I thought I had to worry about everything.
and to some extent you do, and to some extent that's what's going to make, you know, John Henry companies be successful, is that mindset, man, and taking to the next level.
Yeah, well, and just seeing the different projects that people do across the country sparks different ideas. You know, I went to look at a project for next year last week, and they were looking for a simple fire pit down by a lake. It's going to be a pain. There's trees all the way around it, so they're going to have heaving issues. They're right on top of the lake. You know, we went up by the house because they've got a big hill going down, and we're standing up there, and we were just talking about the color of their stone that's out there. And I was sitting there looking at it, and I just threw out an idea, what if we connect this wall and this wall up here and put your patio up here, and then you have a elevated view of your lake. And the light bulb that went off from we just want a fire pit down here to hang out on to holy crap, the space we could have to entertain on. We'd be by our bathrooms and that type of thing. That's not stuff that I would normally just think of without having you guys, guys like you to look at, especially on, online, be able to get inspiration from people like that. It's just a different ball game these days.
No, that's awesome. Surrounding yourself, paying attention to the trends in the industry, seeing what other guys are doing, and then having the resources to help you out as you navigate through it, right?
Yep.
So Hardscape Mentor has been, it sounds like, has been pretty helpful for you going from lawn care to hardscaping. So
yeah, it's been great. I mean, it's the hardscape industry in general. I mean, it doesn't almost matter who you reach out to. Just about everybody is responsive, genuine about the information they're giving you, and want to see you succeed going forward. And that's been one of the coolest things. I left Facebook for a while before I got into the landscaping thing, because I was sick of seeing the negative comments about everybody's everyday life. And I found Instagram, and everybody was just so helpful. And you're starting to get the trolls coming over. But I mean, the people were just, everybody was there to help. And it's nice to see that kind of thing again. The
Hardscape
awesome.
Brotherhood is real.
It is, for sure.
It's real.
It is.
And here's an example of it right here, right?
Absolutely.
We're at the largest Hardscape Brotherhood networking event that goes on every year, right? So what an opportunity to come down here every year, meet all these other social media guys and guys we've been talking to for years, right?
Yep. Yeah, ran in with, met with John Cedar this morning, and never met him in person, talked to him a bunch of times. Same thing with Richard Carroll, met him last night at
and all the herd members are coming through it. We've been talking to in the Zoom calls.
Yeah, guys we've been meeting with monthly for over a year now. You walk up, it's like, hey man, what's going on? It's like you know each other already, and you've never met each other.
And it's just so cool. Every guy who comes in the booth that is a member, it's super inspiring, and we're all winners, right? It's all the same mentality. Everyone who steps in this booth, everyone who shakes each other's hand, we automatically have a common bond with the passion in the industry, right? So
absolutely.
It's one herd, one direction. But you're right. It's not only the herd. It's not only the Hardscape Mentor program. It's the industry as a whole, all helping each other out, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's we're in a smaller town, and not everybody's always willing to help, and so you got to go outside and find help somewhere. I mean, we got guys that are in town that are great. I don't want to discount anybody for that, but I mean, it's just, you get in a small town, especially with lawn care, it's just cutthroat after cutthroat. Somebody new is in town every week, and
So what would
racing to the bottom?
From your experiences, John, being a guy who took their operation from lawn care, I know you're still doing some lawn care, and if you can keep that going, I think that's great. But we're ramping up the hardscaping now. What advice would you give to? Because there's a bunch of people who are going to be listening to this, who are going to be sitting in your same shoes, who are going to be like, man, I cut lawns every day. I would love to see the satisfaction of putting in an outdoor space. What should those guys do?
I'm still trying to figure that out a little bit, but I think, being in the town we're in, people know me. They know my name from my parents having a business in town previously, and so, we don't do a lot of advertising.
Because you get out in the community, though.
Yeah, we get out in the community, but people call us for everything because they know we can do everything. Mm-hmm. And so we're really going to start to try and focus on doing some marketing this winter to really drive more towards the patios, the outdoor living spaces, because I think there's a void by us. We don't have a bunch of places that are going to put in massive outdoor kitchens, and but we have people that want a nice space to sit out, have a fire, enjoy family time and stuff like that, and to be able to put the whole thing together for them instead of having somebody come do landscaping and somebody come do the patio and somebody fix it at the end. I like going in and taking care of everything for people. It's less headaches for them. Might be more headaches for me, but it's all about what you give them and the experience you give them in the end. And so for us, for us, moving from the doing everything to trying to niche down to the hardscape stuff is sucking up the pride of we don't have to market and putting the money into marketing to get those jobs you want.
That's a great point, John. And marketing what you want. I like how you said that. Right? We don't want to mow lawns anymore. We want to build outdoor living spaces. That's how we're going to market.
And my wife brought up a great point this summer. You know, she pulled up our Google thing. And the first thing that comes up on our Google listing is a beautifully striped out yard.
There you go. Right? Yeah.
Not a patio.
I think any
oversight on my part. I guess.
No, but we're all learning as we go. And in the beginning, that's what it was, right? And you built a successful maintenance company, and you made a reputation for yourself mowing lawns. But it's time to take it to the next level. Let's start marketing that. I think any homeowner or client in the Beaver Dam area would be fortunate to have you as a contractor on their site, man.
That.
Not only
really
from the personality and they're gonna get along with you right away, but then the details and the integrity that you're gonna put into this thing.
Yep.
And the things you're paying attention to are not the things other guys in your market are paying attention to. We just got to get that out there, right?
Yeah, one of the last people we did they had a new house built and we did landscaping and stuff like that. But even just coming off their back deck step, they built the deck unfortunately. But coming off the step, we do some of Mulder's brick edging, and we brought that edging right around in front of the step, 2 blocks deep. But then instead of just putting blocks on the side to make a square dot, we curve the edge so it just flows right into it nice, and it just
taking it to the next level.
Just
and the
something
details.
else. They came out there like we didn't expect this.
Yeah,
like,
and a lot of times in these small markets, some of these clients, they want an outdoor living space. They just don't know who's going to do it yet.
Well, and they already asked. They're like, so you can put a fire pit in next year after we get settled in and whatever.
And just from you cutting the edge.
Just from well, not just from that, but just from us being on site, the detail that we put into it. And
led to a bigger project.
Correct.
Yeah, led to a bigger project. So like I said, I seriously think if anyone is in the Beaver Dam area or even that section of the state of Wisconsin, John Henry would be an awesome contractor to have in your yard, because he's an awesome contractor to have in the herd with us. John joined us in the monthly masterminds. He's joined us in the live Facebook group. He joins us on my job sites. And everyone who comes across you, man, they have nothing but positive things to say. I love it how you're just so positive and you have a passion, man.
There's people that came up that were like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, no, great. How the heck do you know me?
No, it's awesome.
Like, must have been this guy.
No, it's awesome. It's because you're one of the faces in the hardscape community. It's a hardscape brotherhood. I'm seriously, man, I'm so proud to have you in the herd, and I'm proud to get to know you as a friend. I feel like it's, we've known each other for a while, but it's still just the beginning. I had to get you in here. I love working with you. I love seeing you in the herd. So how's the show been going for you? Last day, are we exhausted yet?
Oh, yeah, definitely exhausted. Even after the first day, we planned to go do something afterwards, and we ended up falling asleep. Yeah. Well, darn old people.
There's so much to do here. There's so much to take in, right? There's many other guys here. So
well, yeah, and you try and hit the things you want to hit, like purposefully, but you're gonna run into somebody, and that one stop turns into 2 hours, and it's so hard to plan to fit in everything. I mean, I think we pretty much took care of it all, but I know we missed a whole heck of a lot.
The biggest thing is the network here, right?
Yeah, and I mean that's the greatest thing about these things for me. I mean, the products and stuff are nice, meeting reps are nice, but meeting other guys, talking about employee things or office things or what they're doing to make things more efficient on their sites. One buddy, he told me his crew doesn't even want him on site anymore. He just slows them down. Yeah, he's hands off now.
The insight we're gaining from other contractors at events like this, the insight we're gaining from other contractors in the herd mastermind, that's how you do it. You surround yourself with like-minded people, passionate people about the industry. Yeah. And I feel like I've surrounded myself with another like-minded person, another passionate person about the industry. And that's you, John. So
thanks, man.
Thank you so much for your, involvement in the herd, for your involvement in my life, man. So this is going to be awesome. We'll let you get back to it. Maybe you're going to head back to Wisconsin soon. But thank you so much for joining us. It was great to meet your wife as well. Yeah. So I'll be seeing you soon, man.
You bet.
All right.
Can't
Thanks
wait.
again, John.
Thanks, man. Have a good one.